Hello Internet, it's me Josh, the Aging Gamer. So, a while back I reviewed the first Contra game for the NES. I didn't really play it too much beforehand, but I sat down, dedicated some time to it, beat it from start to finish, and it was an absolutely awesome game. Well, now I think it's time that we take a look at its sequel. So Contra on the NES is based off an arcade title of the same name. The sequel follows suit. The arcade sequel is called Super Contra. The NES sequel port is called Super C. Not sure why Konami didn't call this one Super Contra or even Contra 2. Maybe it had something to do with the Iran-Contra affair, but that didn't stop every other Contra game from having the title. But Super C it is. In Europe, where the main characters are replaced with robots for censorship reasons, the game is called Probotector 2, Return of the Evil Forces. Anyway, like I mentioned, Super C is a port of Super Contra, but it features a few new levels and bosses. Its game design takes after the first Contra NES game, so anyone who played that game should feel right at home with this. So let's check this out. Let's see how this game ranks compared to the first one. Let's see if it stands the test of time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Super C! So in Super C, you take control of Bill Bill Coe, aka Mad Dog, and Lance Bean, Corporal Lance, aka Scorpion. Or you can just call them Blue Pants and Red Pants respectively. Story-wise, this takes place a few months after the first Contra. The evil alien Red Falcon organization that we defeated from the first game return, with more alien monsters to boot. And that's it. That's the plot of this title. Let's start up this game. And while we're at the title screen, if you press up, right, left, down, up, A, B, and start, we'll start the game with 10 lives. Yeah! There's nothing wrong with starting the game with some extra lives. This is Contra. These games are hard. I'll play it however I want. So we drop from a helicopter and we go straight into the war zone. We got our handy gun that starts off doing just little pew-pews, but by shooting down these floating icons we can upgrade them. There's the machine gun that shoots pretty fast, the laser that's pretty strong, a flamethrower which blows fire, duh, and then there's hands down the best power-up, the spread gun that shoots a wave of bullets out. Also keep a lookout for the rapid fire power-up to increase the firing rate of whatever gun you currently possess. Be careful not to get hit either, because if you do, not only do you lose a life, your gun power-ups go bye-bye. Back to the game though. We got a bunch of chumps to shoot, but when you kill them, they just keep coming back. This game throws enemies at you non-stop, and your only break is the pause button. Bullets and enemies will try to harm you from every direction, so your reflexes must be quick. And like the last game, the levels are hard at first, but once you play the level enough and learn the enemy patterns and remember what lies ahead, this is less of a game of survival and more of a game of quick-paced memorization. And I mean that in the best kind of way. I love shooting these enemies dead. It feels good to just blast them away. I can sit here shooting these ass clowns while my titties jiggle all day. And when they hit me, you know what? It feels fair, as I wasn't quick enough to dodge. But anyway, the first level has your typical bad guys running around and the end boss being an evil helicopter. Shoot out its cannon and then blast away its evil helicopter heart to destroy it. Using that spread gun makes things so freaking nice. The spread gun to Contra is like what the Metal Blade is to Mega Man 2, but better. You equip that spread gun with the rapid fire power-up and you're essentially God. Or Satan. Or God. The second level mixes things up and it's an overhead view. The transition works wonderfully. Make your way up and there's lots of tanks, cannons, jabronis, and a big boss tank. Just keep hitting the tank and watch the drivers explode. Then watch the tank explode. Everything explodes in this game. The third level has us in a somewhat familiar jungle where turrets pop up from the ground and bad guys drop from the trees. We'll reach a mid-stage boss, the Babalu Destructoid Mechanism. For real, that's its name. This can be a tricky boss to fight at first, but once you realize the safe spots, it's easy. Duck and shoot while on the ground, jump on its head when it moves to one side of the screen, jump to the other side, and repeat the attack. Once old Babaloo is dead, it's dead. Continue and, oh shit, the ground is breaking apart! Run and jump and we'll reach the real stage boss. A big fucking robot wall. It's got 4 spheres that rotate around the top. Keep shooting the spheres until they explode and then shoot the heart. Now the 4th level, Layer of the Jungle, has us running around and all of a sudden, bubbles! Not the bubbles! We'll now be traveling vertically, where we'll avoid falling tiles, lasers, and these guys that represent the Red Falcon by dressing as literal Red Falcons. But from my research, these guys are called Garths. Party on! Once we reach the top, it's boss time with the big old laser chandelier. This boss is tricky, but the way to do it is to shoot out all of its laser cannons. Once it blows up, we move on to the 5th stage, Massacre Mountains. What a name! And it's another vertical platforming level. There's cannons, bad guys, and even rocks that will try to stop you. Reach the end and we'll fight the boss, Crypto Crustacean. And look at that, how cool looking. It looks like something you'd see on a metal album. The crustacean drops little homing fireballs and flame skulls that'll run at you. Yeah, this is totally metal. Keep shooting the ship while defending yourself against the Crypto's droppings, and you'll eventually destroy it. I really like the look of that boss, and from here on out, the bosses get more and more disturbing looking. Like, this is stuff you'd see in horror movies, the stuff of nightmares. The 6th level is titled, I kid you not, Jagger Freud's Fruit of the Doom Defense Line. It's a top-down horror fest. Look at these enemies. You got ugly spider aliens crawling around, this thing that looks like Super Metroid's mother brain, and giant sharp-teeth vaginas that'll gobble you up. Why did I say vaginas and not mouths? I don't know, but check out this boss here. Jesus Christ, that's terrifying! Keep shooting those stupid faces until they explode. Ha ha ha! We won! Ah! What the fuck is that? Now it's just one giant head that not only shoots lasers, but actually watches you move around the screen. Luckily, you don't really have to move around. If you stay in one spot, you can destroy Mr. Jaggerfreud pretty easily. That boss was epic looking enough to be the final boss. Well, it was in Super Contra, but here, we still have 2 more levels to go. What other sick creatures are we gonna see? The next level has us descending vertically, and we'll fight some more beastly alien abominations. You got these weird things running at you, you got this ungodly thing creeping up and shooting at you, and there's even these pods that shoot little tiny babies of death at you. You'll reach a part where you gotta blast your way down. It's short, but this is like the only time in the game where you're safe from enemies attacking you. Continue down and we'll make our way to the next boss, named the Temple of Terror. This also looks like an album cover. And what looks like an epic boss fight comes down to me just basically staying in one spot and shooting up. It was pretty easy, but I have the rapid spread gun, so I can't help it if I'm a freaking badass. On to the final level, Red Falcon's Poison Palace. This place looks like it was designed by H.R. Geiger, which is no surprise since he worked on all the visual effects for the movie Alien, and Contra hasn't been shy at all about the inspiration they've taken from that. Speaking of which, Bill Reiser gets his name from Aliens actors Bill Paxton and Paul Reiser, whereas Lance Bean also gets his name from Aliens actor Lance Henriksen and Michael Bean. The alien references don't stop there because the level actually contains xenomorphs. Like, just straight up xenomorphs. But the game manual calls them Red Falcon, despite the fact that these guys, nor any of the aliens in the franchise, are red or falcons. Anyway, there's a few other enemies like the Spit Soldier and the Bubble Fetuses that follow you. At one point you have to deal with the crushing ceiling. But if you make past all of that, we get a showdown with the final boss of the game, the Golden Shadow Beast Kimco. This boss looks absolutely badass, but unfortunately, it's a pathetic fight. You can run to the furthest point on any side of the screen and you're completely safe. You can just get right next to this monster and just keep shooting it until it's dead. We save the world. We then get in our helicopter and fly off into the sunset. And ladies and gentlemen, that's Super C. So, how does this game hold up? Well, it holds up pretty well actually. If you want some hectic balls to the walls gun blasting action, this is it right here. The first Contra game is fantastic, and all in all, this sequel gives you more of the same. It doesn't really do anything to improve the original idea, but when the original game is fun as is, I suppose that's fine. I love the new nightmare-fueled enemies. It really gives the later half of the game some epic moments. It's just a shame that some of those boss fights are very lackluster. Other than that, what else can I really say about the game? It does everything the first NES Contra does, and it's like playing the same game but with new levels. If I had to choose the better game between the two, I think I'd have to go with the first Contra. To me, that game has a good, progressive challenge, whereas Super C seems to be a bit more all over the place in terms of difficulty. Both games are great though, and I can't imagine liking one but not the other. If you enjoy crazy difficult alien blasting mayhem, this game might be for you. But those are just my opinions. What do you guys think? What do you think of Super C? You like the game? You hate the game? Is it your favorite Contra? Your least favorite Contra? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, you can do that too. And I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all next time.